It's time that we review Deadpool and Wolverine. I know my man is super stoked about this one. You both are. I can see it. I can see all the excitement on your faces.
I don't know who do you want to start with, Nick? Because like I could go forever on this.
Well, before we do, and we have till before 8:30, but we still got time. But so we have a good conversation to go. But before we get started, Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, is the third installment in Deadpool franchise where we see him teaming up with Wolverine to save his reality before the TVA takes it out. Mr. Paradox is at the helm of that, played by Matthew McFadden, who was made famous from the Succession television show. So they get stuck in the void. They have to fight Cassandra Nova, which is Charles Xavier's twin sister that ate him in birth in another universe. There's so much going on
for me too, because like I didn't know that reference.
Which one is it?
Cassandra. I have no idea who Cassandra is.
It's not like a full reference. Like it's not even main. Like it's a variant reference where she survived in it. So it's like I can't tell you much about it, but I do know Cassandra Nova. She shows up every once in a while. She causes trouble, but she wasn't like a super main villain. They made her like really powerful in this one.
Yeah, she was like ungodly powerful and apparently immortal. Yeah. Like I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know all of her powers, but I mean, she is Charles Xavier's sister. She is formidable, but he was always sort of around. But yeah, they did a lot with this, and we're gonna go into spoiler territory, but not at first. What I'd like to do is do a non-spoiler review of this, so that's the movie's about. Deadpool has to get Wolverine to save his universe, but gets stuck in the void and has to get his way back out. That's the non-spoiler version. Before we go to the spoiler, I want to hear what you guys think. I'll put up our ratings for now while we talk about it, but what's your non-spoiler ratings? What's your non-spoiler feelings about this movie?
4.5 stars for me. It's not without its faults, but it is a great addition to the MCU. Like, even though it's his foray into it, like it's a great addition to the MCU. I think that Hugh Jackman shows this was more than a money grab, which was huge. I was worried he would phone it in. I don't think he did at all. And oddly enough, if I can explain why I took half off, I think that
as long as it's not spoiler.
Nope, it's not. I think Ryan kind of might have phoned it in a little. Maybe he was too focused on the like writing. Mm-hmm. But it is not his strongest performance of the franchise.
Okay, I get that. Sturdy, how about you, man? What'd you give it a 5 out of 5?
I had a great time with it. And what was cool about this too, the experience was me and the wife went. And this is actually the first movie that she watched of this trilogy. She tried to watch the first one, couldn't get into it at first, I guess because of the way the comedy is. But after watching this one, she laughing through the whole thing just like I was, had a great time with it. She wants to watch the other two now. Which I was like, I kept telling her, I was like, you're gonna have a good time with it. Once you actually watch it and sit down and kind of just let go, turn your brain off, you're gonna have a good time. But yeah, you get the laughs from it, you get all the jokes you want, and I can't say too much more without spoiling.
That's fair. I'll go with mine. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed the film. It had every bit of fan service I wanted. I think that had the fan service that was right too. A lot of people are like, I hope we see this. I hope we see this. I hope we see this. And some of it didn't make sense, but I get why people wanted to see it or some callback to it. But this movie did a very good job in gently and lovingly handling a lot of our favorite characters from the past, and also bridging the gap to now the future and being in the MCU. It was a really well done movie. All practical effects really impresses me about this movie, and I really enjoyed the interactions. I do agree it isn't Ryan Reynolds' strongest turn as Deadpool. I do think he probably did have a lot riding on him on this, and that was I mean, maybe that could have played into it, but I do appreciate him for what he did here and getting this all together, because like, let's be real, if it wasn't for Ryan Reynolds, none of this, like Sean Levy directed this one. Yep. Like all the everybody came around, and like I get why he wanted to make the Deadpool family shine. Mm-hmm. Because they were all there from the beginning. So I appreciated that about everything he did. There's a lot of heart to this movie, and I loved it a lot. So go check it out. Now, there are things that maybe in more spoiler territory took me out of it. Like, I didn't think the story was the strongest I've ever seen. It was just a simple, nice story.
Simple story, yeah.
Yeah, so, but there's a lot of chaos in this movie, and I loved it, but at the same time, it doesn't always translate perfectly, but they came damn near close. So I have to give them a lot of credit on that.
Okay.
All right, let's let me put up the banner so the people watching at home know that we are talking spoilers. Actually, I can make that a ticker this time because Paul's not here. I can't do it as a scroll because it messes with Paul's audio, but I can do that. So let's get started. All right, let's really get into it. So tell me what you really thought about the movie, guys.
Go ahead, Sturdy. You go first.
I'm gonna hop out and say it. For this movie, it worked. Channing Tatum as Gambit. For this movie, for the type of movie it was, and for the jokes it was playing on that character, kind of, and the jokes it was playing on other characters, which I loved, and the callbacks and all that, it worked.
No.
But I shared a post on social media that I disagreed with, where someone was saying put Gambit in a soul. I hope it was a joke.
And Gambit should not
be a. No, he's not a good actor in my opinion. He could do more 21 Jump Street till he's about 57. Put him in stuff like that. But as far as like a serious Marvel film, Gambit, no. Please.
No, his accent was another thing. His accent was perfect for the movie because it was in the joke.
Yeah, it was like intentionally terrible.
I don't know that it was intentionally terrible.
I thought it was. I thought it was intentionally terrible.
I think he just did a terrible accent, and he was, because Ryan Reynolds felt like he was calling out people in this, not in a bad way, but like all bets are off. Like, the only one he didn't, and he praised, and the way it should be, was his wife.
He didn't want to go home to a dirty laundry. That's why. Like going home to dirty laundry where she's like, "Excuse me."
Yeah. Oh no, when he was like just had a baby, seems brand new down there. Like he's just, but even like Hugh Jackman, when he calls out Hugh Jackman for just like, he's let it go a little bit since the divorce. He just got divorced like less than a year ago.
That's it. He was with his wife for like 30 years or something. Like,
oh, so like he did not mind going hard in this. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's like I gotta give him credit on that one.
No, he definitely did. He definitely did. But yeah, that was like my biggest gripe with this movie was the Gambit accent. But again, I told him, I was like, it does work for the movie. It does work for the movie, so it's fine. Yeah. So it's fine. Not a strong. I mean, you could say that not a strongest story, but other than that, again, I don't have too many complaints.
Well, there is. Gambit survived. Yeah. I don't know if everybody survived, but Gambit survived because at the end, in the post credits, and again, this is a spoiler, so if you're mad, I don't care.
Yeah.
You see Gambit in one of the screens when he's doing the Johnny Storm thing.
The Johnny Storm thing, where he said everything that he said, and everybody, the whole movie was like, fucking.
Dude, when Wolverine looked at him and goes, "You piece of shit, you got him killed."
That was so the stinger was great. So I gave it 4.5 stars, and like I already mentioned that Ryan Reynolds doesn't turn in his like best performance, but it was what it needed to be. The story is chaotic, like Mick said. I did not expect to get emotional about seeing Blade, but apparently I liked those 3 movies a lot more than I thought I did, because I did get a little like, oh my God, I'm never going to see Blade again on screen. My Blade. I'm never going to see him again on screen, probably. And it's not like I was crying or anything like that, but I was kind of like, this is having a different like reaction than I thought it would. Every cameo was perfect. Jennifer Garner killed it. Like, I was like, yes, that's awesome. I think that, okay, this is my thing about Gambit. Okay. I think that out of all the cameos, that might have been a wasted cameo. I don't. You know what I didn't need? I would have much rather seen another one of the characters. Like, how hilarious would it have been if it had been Eric Bana?
No, I don't think it would have been anything as other than Gambit.
Really?
Or
like, I would have loved to see Eric Bana or Edward Norton or...
No, I don't want anyone... Like, you can make that another joke in it, but I don't want to see anyone else on that team besides Gambit, Channing Tatum playing them, unless it's another developed but never came out Fox.
You would rather have that?
Yeah, because that was what the joke was. The whole point of like, I don't know my daddy. I don't know. I could have been born here. Like the whole, like, how many times has Fox developed a New Mutant movie? And I don't mean the New Mutants. I mean like a New Mutant movie for the X-Men, and it never went anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was so wasted and so lost. And like, that's why I thought, but I also thought, having the accent so bad and calling it out,
squeezing him into that suit. He is a big man.
He is a big dude. They squeezed him in.
Big dude. Like,
but he went all. I'll give him this. The accent sucked. He looked fun in the costume. Like, it looked cosplay. It didn't look real.
Yeah, it looked like he was at a convention.
It's like when people are like, "Oh my god, Nick Cage looked amazing as Superman." I'm like, "Are we looking at the same test
Same
photos
guy.
as
Oh,
I'm
Nicolas
looking
Cage
at?"
looked terrible. I love Nicolas Cage. He looked terrible. Superman.
Oh, yeah, we all know how you feel, Sturdy.
I'm gonna buy you that pillow that Mick sent you. I'm gonna buy you that pillow, Sturdy.
I love it. But no, so like just all of that stuff. Like I thought him taking the action seriously.
Do you like
It was good.
how they handled the sequence with them essentially not killing Cassandra and then Cassandra still turning out to be the big bad? Because I was like mixed on it. That was one part in the plot where I was like, okay, so what was the whole point again then? Like
They kept it mutant, and I like that. I like that he keeps Deadpool in the mutant realm.
Okay.
Like, yes, we have non-mutants in there. We have other Marvel entities, but he keeps Blade in the mutant realm. Not Blade. He keeps Deadpool in the mutant realm. Like, he's going to get Wolverine. Like in the last movie, it was Cable. It was Colossus. Like, yeah, you could get anyone, and every villain was an X-Men villain.
Yeah.
You know, so I like that it was Cassandra Nova, and she was so powerful, and that played into this Wolverine and how close he was with Charles. And I just thought it added the element for Wolverine perfectly too.
When she came back into his timeline to like take over, at that point I was just kind of like, that why can't Mr. Chaos or whatever his name was be the big bad? I don't know why she had to like, do you know what I mean?
I thought because she had the power, like Mr. Paradox in this was so ratty. You know, he was such a sniveling guy. Like he wasn't a big bad, and he played the role well. But I thought her coming back and realizing like, oh, I had a deal with you. I could leave this thing anytime I want. I had a deal. Now you broke it, and I'm going to destroy reality because I'm crazy. I like that aspect of it.
I at that point I was kind of like, she came back and I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to shit pick here a little bit just because like I did give it 4.5 stars and there's enough criticism there, I think maybe to knock that down 0.5 star for sure. But like introducing, I don't know. Out of all the enemies that you could have had, like one thing I didn't get, I forgot to mention when they did Short Wolverine.
Well, I'm gonna go over all the Wolverines. I do want to go over all the Wolverines. So and Sturdy, we've been hushing Sturdy a little too much. So sorry, and I feel bad.
You're good.
Dude, please stop silencing black voices.
You're not. Don't put that narrative out there on him.
I wanted. Why couldn't they get Danny DeVito to do that? Why could they not?
I didn't want it. It was taken seriously. I loved it. I'm glad they didn't get Daniel Radcliffe. I'm glad they didn't get it. I think it worked. I think if you're going to have one person outside of Hugh Jackman play all those roles, it was going to be. I'm glad that they went with who they went with. And like I said, we'll talk about the Wolverines in just a second.
Okay.
I do want to touch on your point about Cassandra Nova. She's a very powerful being. Plus, she's a variant. And that's important in this. Like, because there was so many variants. And for her to be the villain, it's more of a deep cut. It would have been cool to see Legion, but it doesn't have the same it has the same power and then some.
I thought we were going to see Magneto for sure, FYI.
I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't see. I'm glad we got.
I knew it wasn't because of the previews, but like I was like, if they had Ian McKellen come in as Magneto to be the big bad, I was gonna lose my shit. I wanted that so bad. Like,
all right, now let's talk about the Wolverines because I know you're dying. All right, so of course for anybody watching, there's spoilers, so we're gonna go through all the versions of Wolverine we saw. So the first one we saw was comic book accurate 5'3" hairy Wolverine. Young hair. Well, technically, Logan is the first one we saw.
Oh yeah.
When you see a skeleton murdered,
I've never laughed so hard. I didn't like
that beginning scene. That was perfect.
What was it? There's 206 bones in the human body, then 207 if I'm watching Gossip Girl. Another call to his wife. Oh man. But then to go to the bar and when he catches the axe and just hands it to the guy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Freaking loved it. I thought it would have been funnier if somebody threw the axe and another one of the TV agents was coming through to try and grab him.
And
it landed and he went back and then like that was that. And the guy's just like freaking out. I loved it. Short, hairy Wolverine was cool. Then we have Old Man Logan. Which is
Old Man Logan. Yeah,
was interesting. Who else do we have? So let's just get the Cavalrine.
Yeah,
the Cavalrine. We get. We see Henry Cavill as Wolverine, working on his bike too.
Yep,
that was
that's it,
comic accurate bike. I don't know if it was in the comic books, but not comic, cartoon accurate. I think I have to double check.
I'm not sure if it was cartoon.
It's either comics or cartoon.
It was in X2 for sure. It was in X2 for sure.
It's comic or cartoon. That bike is accurate. I have to do my research. But then we have Patch, which Wolverine very much. Everybody thought Daniel Radcliffe was going to play that part, but Hugh Jackman was actually kind of hell bent on playing all those roles. Because those were kind of like his dream to play these different
all these different
or do these stories and stuff. We have the Apocalypse where his hand's missing, and then oh my god, the John Byrne Brown and Tan fighting the Hulk. And when he puts up, if you look closely enough to his claws, when he puts it up, I mean, it's on the mask, but for good reason. They put the reflection of Hulk's face in the blades like they do in the comic.
Did they make it gray like it should have been? I didn't catch it.
No, it was green because he was green in the movie.
Oh, okay.
I knew you mean it was.
Yeah, because they had that print issue. They couldn't print Hulk the right way in that comic for some reason, and isn't that the same reason why his suit is brown, Mick?
I don't know the trivia on that particular comic. I know the famous cover, and I've read the book.
Yeah.
I don't remember the.
They had a print issue, and that's why Hulk was gray, and everybody was like, "What the hell?"
Well, the first ever issue of The Incredible Hulk, he was gray.
Yep.
Because of the print issue, because they wanted him to be green, but it wasn't working. Yep. And then he ended up gray. And then there's Professor Hulk, and there's actually Joe Fixit, who was kind of gray. So there's definitely many grays. All right, let's talk about some of your favorite points in the movie. Sturdy, what are some of your favorite parts of this movie?
I love the Deadpool variants. Yes. That was just hilarious. I wasn't expecting it either, and then when I see it, I'm like, oh wow, they're really going there. They're going anywhere with this. I like that, and I like when the speaking of that, it was after the dog came, the happy Deadpool. When he used
nice
him as a shield.
Nice pool, yeah.
When he used him as a shield.
Oh my god.
And then after his head gets shot up, he's still holding him up like this, running
he's just giving him CPR. Then he takes his guns.
Yeah, it's like he just wanted the gold-plated guns.
Oh my god, their interaction when he calls him Van Milder.
Yes.
And then he goes, he's like, I can do fourth wall breaks too. And he goes, the proposal. And he goes, bitch, is that what you think I do?
I love The Proposal, by the way. I think that's a great movie. Like, it's so clever. Like,
keep hardcore going for The Proposal.
Oh, yeah.
No, I love it. It's a good movie. And listen, it's all of this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah. You guys, Sturdy,
I just had so much fun. Like, just like everybody, I love to laugh. And I'm very immature, so if you're immature, this movie is perfect for you. This is perfect. I'm laughing damn near through the whole movie.
Oh my god, man! It really was. It kept you going the whole time.
Yeah.
Dan, what was missing for you in this movie?
What was missing?
Besides Magneto, you said Magneto.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think that the ending is a little anticlimactic in terms of her, like Cassandra coming back. But what I would have really loved to see is Cable. Cable is one of my favorite mutants, period. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of the actor's name that played him in 2.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin's version of Cable is so good that I wanted to see more of it. And he even had a fourth wall break where he looked at it and he said, and apparently Cable. So I think Ryan Reynolds agrees with me that Josh Brolin's Cable was awesome too. Otherwise he wouldn't.
Well, no, he said Cable didn't test well.
Yeah, it didn't test well.
And we know it didn't, but I think it's because he's Thanos, and they're probably going to bring Thanos back at some point.
Yeah, I get maybe so Dr. Doom can punch out his heart, but
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. The other hard part is that it was so chaotic. I will say the high point for me, and I've seen people criticize the fight scenes. I think they were so well choreographed, especially the van. Van. So I don't know. It's really hard for me to say what was missing because I don't. Like more coherence.
I just meant like, did you want more fan service? There's more characters?
There was the right amount of fan service. I enjoyed the simple story, but at the same time, like as simple as the story was, I thought it was messy at times. There were a couple times if you were gonna say like the plot lagged, it did. Like especially like meeting Nice Pool, even though it was hilarious, was a little laggy for me in the plot. It's not perfect. I mean that's why I didn't give it 5, but like it was exactly what it should be. I'll say that. Enjoyed it. Great movie.
Awesome. All right, well, gentlemen, since we're rounding out, no, we're not finishing. We're not finishing.
Oh.
Don't leave just yet. Hold on, hold that horse. We still got mixed movie pick, and I got another question for you. All right, guys, mixed movie pick from 1973, a movie I truly love, starring Paul Newman and Robert Redford. And if you haven't had a chance to go check it out, go check out The Sting.
Great movie.
Truly fantastic movie. Great music, great acting, great story. Just everything about it is really fun. It's about two con men trying to take down a big time Irish boss, and it's just a lot of fun in it. So go check it out.
Terrible cover, in my opinion. Terrible poster art. We were talking about poster art the other day. I think that's terrible poster art.
Well, I like it because it's supposed to be reminiscent of Norman Rockwell.
Okay.
So the 20s, but I agree as a poster, it just doesn't. It's too dry.
It doesn't pop. Like the movie's great. It's well acted. Has funny moments too. Really funny moments in the movie. And I see that poster. I remember going past it, talking about video stores, going past a video store, and I'm like, I don't want to rent that. And then it took somebody else telling me, like, no, this thing's a really good movie. And I was like, the one with the brown and yellow like cover?
Yeah.
And like, it's great, but I
Welcome
don't.
to 1973. Yeah. But yeah, go check out this thing if you guys haven't already. That's not it. That's it. I gotta stop using that background. We're doing a giveaway. Deadpool, or Headpool as they call it in the comics, a popcorn bucket and a Wolverine cup. So you guys can two lucky winners in the Patreon will win that. All you have to do is head over. You can file for free. You can join one of the paid tiers. The paid tier goes back into helping out the show, not just the show, the whole channel, and like building us out and making the best we can. The free tier comes with perks like the newsletter, links, extra reviews, stuff like that. So go check that out there. And we do giveaways like this. We're going to be doing this more often. So you're going to want to follow us and keep in touch. So I want to say thank you guys. I want to thank you to my fellow co-hosts on tonight's episode, gentlemen, Dan and Sturdy. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Da-da-da.